Okay, we're almost done. Sorry, I didn't mean to like slam my face up in your face. Okay, we're almost done. We are to the introductions and conclusions phase of our outline. And we come to this last because the content of the outline tells us a lot about what to put in the introduction and the conclusion. Now, what I'm going to look at now is our sample, our outline template. And you can see that I've been working on filling mine in. I will tell you that it will be a frustrating process for you to put information in here because the outlining template will want to like jump around and add extra spaces. Like here, you see this extra space. Why is that there? I don't know. I will tell you this though, it's easier to start from my template than to try to construct your own because the word outlining process will make you enraged. So just use the one that I provided for you. If you're copying information, like if you've written this out somewhere else and you're copying it, you're going to want to put your cursor in and then choose file. Let's see. You want to paste and match formatting. I don't think it. See here, if I had something in my clipboard, it would give me that option, paste and match formatting. You want it to match what's in here. And if it throws an extra Roman numeral in there, just try backspacing or deleting and see if that helps you out. Try to avoid extra hard returns or anything like that. But for some reason, this template adds a huge space between this secondary subpoint and that one. Don't worry about it. I understand. It's a total pain. All right. So here's what I've done. I have taken my first main point and I have put it into the body of the outline. Bakery ownership requires a lot more than just making pretty cakes. I've added my primary subpoint. I've added my evidence here. Here's my in-text citation. I'm telling you, I didn't come up with this. Lisa Ferguson, author of The Baker's Guide to Opening a Successful Bakery, is the one who came up with this. And here's another secondary subpoint. I tell you once again, these are not my words. These are the words of Tina M., former bakery owner and blogger about the experience of owning a full-time bakery. And you'll notice that I quoted some and then added an additional paraphrase. Now, why am I telling you all of this? Well, first, just so you can see how I expect your outline to look. And I'll show you that I haven't written my transitions yet. I need to transition from my first main point to my second main point. I have that in my presentation that I'll put in here. I need to fill in all the information for my second main point. But what I want you to see here is on my third main point. Now, the third main point is optional. You don't have to have a third main point, but if you feel like your presentation really needs one to help the audience understand, absolutely, that's why I put it in there. If you are not going to use the third main point, just go right here and delete that and you're good, okay? Don't leave it in there. All right. So now that I've walked you through the body of the presentation, let's talk about your introduction and your conclusion. Notice if I put my name here, I fill that in, Millie Shaw, you don't even have to put your name because it'll be submitted under your name. I'm going to put my specific speech purpose in here. When my speech is over, I want my audience to understand bakery ownership as a career. Now, does that mean that that's the first thing I'll say in my speech? No, it's not. This is just for me to keep it in my head what I'm trying to accomplish. The first thing you are going to say in your presentation is your planned attention-getting statement, okay? So you can see my planned attention-getting statement, and here we are talking about introductions, is kind of lame. All right, I'll admit it. And yours is probably going to be kind of lame too. You get better at this as you practice and as you talk about things that really matter to you. I'll tell you this, as you're doing your research, be kind of on the lookout for like a surprising statistic or a fact, like a little known fact about your topic, because those work great as attention getters. Mine is do something you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Unless you own a bakery, then the thing you love might grow to be the thing you hate. Okay, so, you know, you can see where I'm going with this. If you're wondering what are attention getters and how do I figure out what to use for one, I'm going to recommend that you hop over here to your textbook. This is chapter 9 on introductions and conclusions, and there's a whole long write-up of different attention-getting strategies. But the purpose is to not only get the attention of the audience, it's to focus it on your topic. So don't just walk up and be like, hey, everybody, There's a giant monster behind you. Now that I have your attention, ha ha ha. That's lame, okay? And it's called a bait and switch. Don't do that. Don't do that to your audience. Respect your audience enough to put the effort in to coming up with something to get their attention that focuses their attention on your topic. All right. Now I need to add my thesis statement. Well, lucky for me, my thesis statement is already written. So I'm just going to delete that part right there, and I'm going to put in my thesis statement. I want you to understand, what is it? Bakery ownership is a possible career. Oh, look at right there. I have it in my specific purpose statement as a possible career. Notice, I'm not saying I want the audience to understand. I'm not going to walk up to my audience and be like, hey, I want the audience to understand. That would be like somebody coming up to me and saying, hey, I'd like for Millie to know what I'm thinking right now. No, you're just talking to us, and you're going to phrase it as though you're speaking directly to your audience. And then I get to my preview of points. Now, how do I know what to put in my preview of points? I look at my points. My first main point is that it's more than making pretty cakes. My second main point is more time and attention than you might expect. Okay, so I'm going to tell my audience, these are the important things for you to look for. First, I'll explain how bakery ownership means that you have to become a jack of all trades. Do we still say that? Do we say jack of all trades? And then I'll tell you just how much time and attention the bakery is going to take away from the rest of your life. You can tell I'm not encouraging anybody to be a bakery owner. Now, what this preview of points does is it tells the audience, I want you to pay attention. You're going to be looking for these two things. You're going to look for what you have to do when you're a bakery owner and how much time and attention it takes for you to get bakery ownership. It's just like if you were telling your parents who have never been to your house before how to get from your house to the restaurant you're eating at. And they're like, well, we're not really sure. Let's pretend they don't have Google Maps. Okay, they're like, we don't really know how to get there. And you're like, okay, well, really all you're going to do is you're going to make two right-hand turns. First, you're going to look for that big house with the pink roof, and you're going to turn right there. So look for that. And then after that, you're going to go all the way down to the end of the road, and at the end of the road, you're going to turn right again. So they know they're looking for two main things. They're looking for the house with the pink roof, and they're looking for the end of the road, and they know which direction they're going both times they get there. That's a preview of points. You just want to help us follow you through your information, because quite frankly, we're not that interested. You have to work hard to keep our attention. All right, let's scroll down and see how I'm going to deal with my conclusion. So the conclusion, you get to the conclusion, you write your speech, you're practicing your speech, you get to the conclusion, you're like, well, I mean, it looks like basically everything I've said before, so I'll just wing it. Don't just wing it, okay? The conclusion is your psychologically satisfying end to the message, and it's a graceful way to get yourself off of the stage, or off camera, if you will. So the conclusion is really important. We as an audience are set up for understanding stories and messages as a beginning, a middle, and an end. And if you just have the beginning and the middle and then you leave, we're like, wait, is that it? Okay. So if we were in class, I would tell you that your conclusion is the cue to the audience that they should clap. They want that. Give them that. Have a satisfactory conclusion. Now, in your conclusion, you really are sort of just saying the same thing you already said. You're going to review your main points. Now you understand, right, everything you need to do as a bakery owner and how much time and attention it takes from you. So you now know about bakery ownership as a possible career. I'm saying exactly the same thing that I said in the introduction. And you're like, Millie, this sounds redundant. I don't feel like I should repeat myself. Yes, you should repeat yourself. Why? Because your audience isn't really paying that close of attention. And it's essential that they walk away with at least the core message of your speech, bakery ownership as a possible career. Now, let's close with intent. I'm just going to delete this. A lot of speech teachers call it the clincher, which sounds like a wrestling move. Maybe it is a wrestling move. I'm going to have some way to get myself off of the stage. And so one of the things that I might do is refer back to the very beginning and how I open the speech. Do something you'll love, you never work a day in your life. So maybe I could end with that. So maybe I'll come up with some way to say, so now keep your hobby something you love and don't turn it into a bakery business, okay? I might end that way, or I might find some other way to end. The most important thing is that I have a planned strategy for getting myself off of the stage. And also, and this is essential, I'm not going to present any new information in my conclusion. So if I get to my conclusion and realize that I left out a really important statistic and I'm like, now you understand what it's like to be a bakery owner. Oh, and one more thing, 72% of bakery owners say they wouldn't do it again if they had the chance. So anyway, now that we're at the end, we're not going to do that. We're just going to end the speech. If you left something out, nobody knows, because nobody knows what you were planning to do. So we're going to find some way to end our speech. So we will review our main points, we will restate our thesis, and we will close with intent, likely mirroring our attention getter. Okay, so that is introductions and conclusions. These are simple introductions and conclusions. For your persuasive speeches, you will do slightly more complicated introductions by adding a credibility statement and a statement of significance, why your topic is significant for your audience, but you don't need to worry about that right now. So for the time being, we are going to call it there. The last video that I will put in this series is a citing your sources, both in the body of your outline and in your works cited, and also citing them orally. You need to say the sources out loud, but we will get to that in the next video.